Hello, and welcome again to another episode of GOS Pod, the podcast from the Global Order of Satan. We have not been on or we haven't released a podcast episode for a bit. Um, I'm not going to apologize for that. This is a loss maker for us. We are not seeking to monetize it. We're not trying to make any money from it. We're not going to advertise any shonky online services to try and make money. This is a thing we're doing because we believe in it and we like to do it. And we think we've got interesting information to impart. Um, so it's not going to be entirely regular. And, we are doing this in our spare times. And basically, uh, it will come out when it comes out. It will be as long as it is, however long it is. That it's down to the fact that this is not a professional outfit, and it never will be. This is just getting awesome satanic information to you folks. So this time joining me, I'm Lithos, by the way. I should have introduced myself there. This time joining me, we have Laraj
Hiya, hail Satan.
and Lygia.
Hail Satan.
So, hail Satan from me too. And we'll jump straight into it. We've got two things to announce here. One is the ritual of eternal fire that Elijah has put together, and we have released on our YouTube channel. And the other one is Contra Odium, the new album release from the Satan Not Hating campaign. So if you want to start us off, Lygia, by saying a bit about the ritual.
Yeah, of course. So I'm really happy that we did this. It's been on our mind for some time to drop a little of a video footage of something that we do. I need to say that we don't do this very often. We don't do rituals publicly. It's usually a very private, sacred session in a space that we all agree. It's either online or in person, whatever we decide. So this is not something that you will see quite often. We do, but after we spoke together, I decided that maybe it's time to put something out. Just something short. So you can find this video for now. It's on YouTube, on our YouTube, Global Order of Satan, UK, I think. If there is any update on where you can find it, maybe it will go somewhere else. We will mention it maybe in following episodes, whatever. So this ritual, I think it's like 6 minutes. It's not only me who made it. I had big help of other members. So thank you, everybody. What we wanted to say with this is just maybe a little message that is based on some of our values, pillars, and some beliefs we hold dear. If you listen to it, if you watch it, and if you listen to the actual context and the content of the words, because it's a little bit of like dramatic and stuff that we like to do, or I like to do. But if you listen to the words, the message is clear. Basically, as you know, we don't believe in any, deities. We don't believe in demons. So even though we mention the name of Satan or Lucifer, or we open the gate of hell, we close the gate of hell, it's all metaphors. So we are just using these powerful words that don't really mean anything unless you see them as symbols, which we love. And the symbols that I included in this ritual are there to bring us together now that it's autumn here, where we live, the autumn means that the days are shorter. There is more darkness. Some people might feel it. Some people love it. Some people might feel a little bit, sad or, So I decided to focus on the fire element and what I feel is the biggest value of being a Satanist. That is taking the torch, again, metaphor, taking the torch of Lucifer, the light bringer, and bringing it where we see is needed. So being there for people who need help, being there for people who suffer, where there is injustice. I hope you will hear our name everywhere. I would love it to be everywhere there is injustice or something bad happening that we can help. So it's just a ritual where we acknowledge and again think of what we want to do in this world, in our everyday life, to bring this light, to be there for people in need. It's either your friend, your family, your neighbor, whatever. And we want to do the good in the name of Lucifer. And we don't need to be praised for it. It's not like we are going to, make videos of, doing these great things. It's in your own private life. I wanted this to be a little positive, light-bringing ritual for anybody who wants to spend these 6 minutes to just think about something we stand for. And it might be surprising to some because there is still this stigma of being Satanist and that connected to be dark and bad. So listen to the words and try to see it in a different way that used to be, like in the past, all the stigma. We would like you to just have your open heart. That's all.
Yeah, I know. When I watched it, back fully for the first time after it had all been edited and everything, it is very. I mean, obviously, I would say this, but I found it very powerful, just in terms of sort of a connection to what we believe and stand for, and like the things you were saying about the focus on doing things locally, community based. I think we're all aware there are some satanic organisations out there in the world who seem to think that they can tackle every single one of the world's evils, whereas we try and concentrate more locally. And that's what it really spoke to me in that sense, particularly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's a great ritual. I would urge anyone who has any interest in this kind of thing, and I'm assuming as you're listening to this podcast, you have an interest. Go and have a look at it. It's a great ritual. It is also beautifully shot. It's very visually impressive. So yes, please do go and have a look. And yeah, enjoy. So after that, we will move on to Satan Not Hating and Contra Odium. Now, I mentioned earlier we don't monetize this podcast. We don't monetize our YouTube channel. You'll not see any ads on there. But the way we get money in at the moment, and some of it goes, as you will find out in a minute, to various charities. The way we make money at the moment is through our merch store, which you can find on our website. If you just Google Global Order of Satan, you'll find our website. There's a merch store there. There's an obvious link. This is where we get most of our money from. And there are various merch items and some linked to the campaign that Laraj is going to talk about in a minute. And on that note, I'll hand over to you, Raj.
Thank you. As Lithos was just saying, we're not a sort of like profit making organisation. We don't have huge reservoirs of money because that's not really what we're interested in. You're not going to see adverts plastered over anything we do. But one of the things we wanted to do with the Satan Not Hating campaign was make some kind of tangible difference to charities that we think do good in the world. And because Satan Not Hating is a cross-order campaign, meaning it's a campaign that our UK order, us in other words, our two USA orders, Seattle, which is House of Heretics, and Pittsburgh, which is Steel City, and also our Swedish order, Sanistiska Samfundet. I think I said that right. I might end up in trouble after that, but we'll see.
It's Satanistica Samfundet, I think.
What did I say?
I don't know. That's what I remember. But again, apologies to all our Swedish friends and colleagues if we got that wrong. But we are English and we are shit at foreign languages. So, and I apologise for the background noise, by the way, if you can hear anything. The bloody washing machine has just gone into a spin cycle.
Can't hear anything this end, so yeah. So each of our orders nominated a charity or charities. They're all listed on the website. I won't go through them all because this is a UK specific podcast. I'll talk about the ones that we in the UK nominated, and those are the Sophie Lancaster Foundation and Hope Not Hate. Hope Not Hate recently had were recently the subject of a documentary on Channel 4 about the work they do. But basically both the organisations that the UK nominated are there to tackle hate in one way or form or another. So the way that we decided to try and raise money for these charities was to approach the bands and artists that are part of Satan Not Hating, and currently we're running at about 250-ish participants. So we approached some of them and said, would you be so good as to donate a song to a compilation album that we're thinking of putting together? And they said yes, and we ended up with 13 songs, and we put them together in an album that we called Contra Odium. And one of our UK members, Zimby, did some absolutely fucking brilliant artwork for the album cover, and that artwork is also on merchandise, t-shirts associated with the Contra Odium event as well. And you can go to Bandcamp and search for Satan Not Hating or Contra Odium, and you'll find us. And the links, all the links we mentioned, the ones that Lagia mentioned earlier and the ones I mentioned now, I'll make sure are in the description of this episode. So yeah, the album itself is on Bandcamp, and it is €6.66, and the merchandise, Satan Not Hating merchandise, including the Contra Odium tee, is on the Global Order of Satan website, web shop. Sorry, our printers can't tie in with Bandcamp's technology, so we had to do it that way. Merch on one, album on the other, and yeah, so it's going swimmingly so far. But basically, if you go to Bandcamp and you buy and download the album, you are effectively getting music and also donating money to charities which support people who have been subject to hate, or organisations that can help tackle hate in some way. So it's a win-win for you, basically. Great music plus a way to feel good about the way you spend your money. And yeah, I think that's it.
I would like to say that the music is awesome. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was just so surprised how good it is. I have already my top 3 songs there. And I have to tell you, first time I listened to the whole album, I was ironing, which I hate. The the speed I ironed, I was like, okay, okay. So people, if you hate ironing, buy this album. It was
Speed through.
done. Yes, it was just done.
You
So
buy it
yeah,
even if you
yeah.
love ironing. It doesn't matter.
Anything, just buy
Yes.
it. Yes,
There
it's
is
so good.
there is quite a diverse
Yes,
sort of like spectrum of stuff on there.
Yeah.
It's not all death metal, but
yeah, yeah,
listen
yeah.
to it. It's Bandcamp. You can have a little listen,
Yeah.
to various tracks first, and then go and buy it, and then buy the T-shirt and donate to charities. Because I don't know if you mentioned it. I don't think you mentioned it, Laraj. How much of the what we're actually making on it is going to charities? It's quite a
Oh,
large percentage, isn't it?
all of it basically. So yeah, the €6.66 that I mentioned is split. 2% of that will go to the upkeep of the campaign itself, so website hosting, things like that. The other 98% will be split 4 ways, and one section per order, basically, one for UK, one for Seattle, one for Pittsburgh, one for Sweden, and then they will donate all of that in full to their designated charities. So yeah.
So it is an actual, unlike Mr. Sausage Roll, who appears every bloody Christmas, this is actually legit, and the money is all going.
Yeah.
It's not going into our coffers.
No.
As Laraj said, the 2% that is just for upkeep. The rest
Yeah.
is all for charity. The
Oh, and I
bands aren't
should say,
getting a penny.
yeah, I should say about that 2% as well. If that goes over more than 2 years worth of projected costs, then we'll donate that extra to the charities as well. So we're doing all that we can to make sure that the charities get every last penny that they possibly can get. Yeah.
Absolutely excellent.
And I
Yeah.
would, sorry, sorry to put in, I would also like to thank 3 people, or 3 groups of people at this point who gave me some fantastic advice about using Bandcamp. First group are the Anti-Fascist Black Metal Network, who've also done a compilation album in the past. The second group are the Left Folk Collective, who do kind of sort of left-wing neo-folk and dark folk type music, and they've also done a compilation album in the past. And the third person that I'd like to thank is Matt from Hearst Pileup. Oh, good friends in Hearst Pileup, without whom we'd be pretty lost, I think. But yeah, all 3 of those people and groups of people gave me some excellent advice about what to do and the best way to set up Bandcamp. I'd also like to thank all the bands, of course. There's 13 of them in total. I won't list them all, but they've all contributed their songs freely, and we're really pleased and happy to do so. And we're just so grateful that they contributed their art and their music to this. So big thank you to them.
And I'm sure I speak for everyone in the order. I now speak for everyone in the order to say we have an immense debt of gratitude to Laraj, who has sort of put a phenomenal amount of work into this. This is pretty much his baby, and it's taken off phenomenally. We've got so many bands, and this is one of our strongest, if not our strongest ever campaign by quite a distance. So thank you, Laraj. Absolutely stunning work there.
Hail to you.
Oh, no.
Yes, hail Laraj, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should also say that House of Heretics Seattle have got or will soon be having a Say Not Hating related gig slash festival, maybe. I'm not quite sure festival's the right word, but there's something coming up, and I'll be switching attention to that pretty soon as well.
Yeah, we will. Yes, it will be mentioned on our various social media.
Yep.
Uh, you know, when House of Heretics actually sort of do the gig, we will let people know via whichever channels we can. I think has that pretty much covered everything? Does anyone need to or want to add anything else at the end?
Can't think of anything else.
We will be back soon.
Yes, we will
Yeah.
with more of a full length episode,
Yeah.
and with a bigger complement of people. We did want to introduce you to a new member of our podcast team, Mel, who unfortunately was not able to come tonight due to unforeseen circumstances, but you will be hearing from her in the very near future. And we'll have our full complement back together
Yeah.
again soon for
That's
another
exciting
podcast.
news.
Yeah. Well, apart from anything else, it's good because we all like to see each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's kind of also an informal get together for us, and
Yeah.
you get to hear all kinds of interesting and exciting things. And we don't have a topic for the next episode yet, but we will be announcing it as and when. So
Yeah.
in the meantime, from all of us, all the best, and enjoy the darker hours and the longer nights. We love them as Satanists. Some of us don't like going out in the sun too much. So,
Yeah. Welcome, darkness.
yes, absolutely. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, yeah.
We're all a
Yeah.
bunch of pasty-faced stay at home.
Yes.
Yes.
We've got light on the inside, though.
Yeah, well, light bearers,
Yeah.
that's us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, from all of us, a hearty Hail Satan.
Hail
Hail
Satan.
Satan.
Massive thanks to Matt and the rest of the band Hearst Pile Up for letting us use their song We're All Going to Hell as our intro. If you'd like to hear more from them, go search Hearst Pile Up on Bandcamp.